What is up, guys? By the title of this video, you're probably wondering, what are the best overall intakes for your 370Z? And before I get into that, I'm going to explain a few things. So the first thing I want to tell you is that my car has a couple of mods, and my mods include a Sean Garcia ported upper plenum, Burke non-resonated test pipes, and a cat pack titanium performance exhaust. I have their dual resonated white pipe and their 3-inch prototype Z34 exhaust. If you like the way that it sounds, please give this video a fat thumbs up. Anyways, I also want to tell you guys that this video is trying to be as unbiased as possible, and I did this video so I could share with you guys the results I get when installing these 3 intakes. So in this video, we're going to be testing out the ADMINTUNING 3-inch intakes, STILLEN Gen 3 2.5-inch intakes, and the Z1 2.5-inch intakes. Also, we have tested this on the same car, which is my car, like I said before, and we tested it on the same day, on the same dyno, so that we can get rid of as many confounding variables as possible. So that way no one can say that since it was that one intake set was tested on a different dyno, that's why the numbers are reading higher or whatever. It's on the same dyno, same day, same car, so there's none of those issues. I just want to explain something about testing new parts on your car on a dyno. So the first run, whenever you have a new part, is always usually the worst run. And a lot of the times people like to test the car multiple times on the dyno so that the car can kind of compensate and get and adjust itself to that new part. So in simple terms, the independent variable is the amount of times you run the car on the dyno, and the dependent variable is the amount of power it outputs throughout all those runs. So things like air temperature and humidity levels kind of fluctuate throughout the day, so that's why they run the car multiple times, so that way they can see the maximum amount of power it can make throughout that day. Also, I want to say this, we are running the same exact filters from the ADMINTUNING intakes on the STILLEN Gen 3 intakes, so that way there's no argument about those running different air filters. The only intakes that are running different filters are the Z1 intakes. Those are running their filters that come with them, so those are the only ones that are a little bit different. And I also want to say that the tuner did not change anything like timing. The only thing that the tuner changed in the tune is the MAF scaling due to the 3-inch intakes being a bigger diameter, and that's what you have to do in order to run 3-inch intakes. And the only other thing he changed was the fuel comp. So that's about it that was really altered or changed, or any variables out there that could change the power outputs that the car makes on the dyno. Alright, special shout out to the design. So when I show up these dyno numbers, here's how they're going to be read. So the first one is going to be the first run with the new part on the car. The second one is going to be the maximum amount of power those intakes made on the dyno without the dual design air guide. And the last one is going to be the maximum amount of power that the intakes produce with the dual design air guide on. So I'm just gonna transfer it over to the dyno sheets, and I'm also gonna show a couple clips of what happened throughout that day. So my car right now is making 318 was the first run. The second run we just made 319, and then we're gonna see and go ahead and see what the last run makes. This is on the ADMINTUNING intakes. On a previous dyno in Florida, I made 320, which was with Megan Racing, CNT resonated test pipes, and stock intakes. And every dyno does read differently, so we had to count for that. And also the wheels and tires that I have for my car now, they are 295s, and before I was running like 245s or 255s on the stock wheels that I had. These wheels weigh about like 23 pounds. The stock ones are a little bit less. So we're gonna record the last run. Got the STILLENs on, just waiting on these silicone tubes so we can connect the PCV to the STILLEN intakes, and we'll see how much we make. We have the dual design air guide on there, so we'll take that off after we get these first couple of runs. And after we take that off, then we'll put the Z1 intakes on and we'll see how much power we're gonna make. So we pretty much finished everything up. Everything's buttoned up. Finished the dyno. My last run that I made in 5th gear with the Z1 intakes. Like this is my tune. Like my tune is different. So I made 329.70 and 282 foot-pounds of torque. Alright, so now I'm going to go over the pros and cons of each of these intake diameter sizings and everything. So, just like I said before, this is not supposed to be biased. I'm just trying to make a video that's going to provide you guys enough information about intakes and which intakes are the best overall for you. I'm not going to tell you which ones are the best for you because I'm making this video so you guys can be informed. So, let's start off with the pros and cons of the intakes. So, with 3-inch intakes, the pros is the amount of throttle response that come with that huge diameter intake. And the cons, however, are it requires a tune, PCV delete, and also you have to cut your core support from a size of this to about this. So you're gonna cut a pretty big size hole in your core support in order to fit that intake in there. And for the 2.5-inch intakes, here are the pros and cons. The pros are it does not require a tune, it does not require PCV delete, and it also does not require as much cutting to fit those intakes in there. That's for the STILLEN Gen 3s that I'm showing in this video. But the Z1, however, do not require you to cut the core support whatsoever. Alright, so that's pretty much just going to sum it up for the pros and cons of each of the intakes. I pretty much just got a set of Z1 intakes since they were so easy to get my hands on them and they're relatively cheap. And also I want to talk about the pricing. So the ADMINTUNING intakes cost about $645. The STILLEN Gen 3 intakes cost about $550. You can probably find a used set for around $300 to $200. And the Z1 intakes cost about $488. So that's pretty much just going to wrap it up about all the intakes. I provided you all the information. I told you all the different variables that can alter and change horsepower numbers, and that's just going to wrap it up. So thank you guys for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and remember, let's turn our dreams into reality.